Good evening to all present here. Myself, CS Sandeep Jain, would like to welcome all on behalf of Bhinder CS Social Group on this webinar. Today we have with us.
Microphone.
It's audible?
Yeah, audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Sorry. Today we have with us a speaker, a dear friend of mine from our hometown, Bhinder CA Amar Kakaria, a holder of Linka book record for having 3 degrees in 3 years at youngest age of 23. Who will share his view on webinar called Role of CAs Towards Revival of MSME Post COVID-19. Thank you, Amarji, for accepting our invitation for sharing your valuable thoughts. And we are extremely glad to that. We also have with us a good friend of mine and chairman of WRC, CA Lalit Bajaj. Request all of you to please welcome them with huge round of applause. I know webinar hai, so it's not possible. Can put thumb in that chat box for welcoming everyone here. First of all, I would like to request WRC chairman C. Lalit Bajaj to give keynote address. We all are eagerly waiting for the same. But before that, let me congratulate him and the WRC team for bringing our fantastic publication on guide to working from home for every professional. Very useful book and request all to take benefit of it. Now request Lalitji to please share your thoughts. Lalitji.
Thank you, Sandeep. Yeah, thank you, Sandeep. I'm really fortunate to get an opportunity to interact with all of you, my dear friends and colleagues from Bhinder Mira Road. And for that, I'm really thankful to Nikunj, Sandeep for giving me this opportunity for interacting with all of you. At the outset, I would really congratulate the association for bringing all of you on the common platform for the very noble purpose of sharing knowledge. And looking at the topic which we are having today, revival of MSME, and when the reins are in the hands of CA Amar Kakaria, who is really expert when we talk about finance, and somewhere or the other when we talk about revival of MSME, I think so it is more about over and above these procedural matters also to is concerned. When we talk about all the professionals who are into practice, I think so present day, the common thought which we are having in our mind as on date is sustenance of CAs and businesses. Because what I feel is when we think or when we help or when we do something for MSME, directly or indirectly, we will be enriching our professional brothers to cater to the larger business community and stabilize themselves in profession. So by this also, I think so this subject is very apt when we talk about revival of MSME. One simple suggestion at this point of time, which I would like to share with my professionals in the group, that if we can prepare a checklist, because as and when we will come out of the lockdown, every chartered accountant will try to start his office or say will try to start his activities at his office, which might be at present he is not able to conduct at 100% capacity. So there might be several things which we need to take care of, whether it is related about data or whether it is related about HR or whether it is related about other processes or compliances. I think so if the group can come out with a checklist which can be very useful to all the members, I think so that would be really value addition on the part of the group to help all the members. Coming to ICI, at ICI, let me share with you that in present times, ICI has tried to be much proactive when it has been the subject of members and students, because many things has been decided and considered when it was about reforming the processes related to members and students. And I think so members and students are really taking benefit of the same also. And that is at ICI with that intention, lot many decisions has been taken, lot many decisions are in the process to be taken. At WIRC, we have taken various initiatives. Just to share with you a couple of things. We have tried to create a pool of young speakers. We have tried to initiate COVID response group and successfully forwarded our suggestions. We have been managing a help desk for members and students. We have been making WIRC publications freely available on WIRC website. We have been enabling research activity at branches, and I will like to share with all of you that all the branches along with Vasai branch has really contributed in submitting the research papers. And we have been conducting various webinars. Over and above this, we have come out with some of very relevant publications, which I think so as on date, all our practicing chartered accountants will be really helpful while going through the publication. Because just to share with you, one publication which we have come around in the month of March, which was on key audit matters. We tried to highlight all the matters which have been reported in various audited financial statements of various listed companies in last 10 years, so that while auditing or while coming across any of the observation or matter of emphasis, we can refer to the matter and we can get the help as far as the reporting is concerned. One more publication as Sandeep Bhai was sharing with you, that is about work from home. We feel it is a very relevant publication and helpful to all of us. Do take benefit of that. And one publication which we have announced today and have uploaded on the website is on compilation of presentation of COVID-19 in the financial statements. Lot many companies have finalized their balance sheets, and lot many companies will be finalizing their balance sheets by 30th June. What we have done is, what all reporting they have made as far as COVID-19 is concerned, we have tried to compile all those matters, and we have brought it in a compilation format to be helpful to members, and we will be updating it regularly on weekly basis for the use of members. All these publications are available on WIRC website. Please take benefit of that. I would not like to talk about the events happening at WIRC because all those are there on the website. A couple of things which I would like to share with the group regarding initiative which can be taken at group is, I had spoken with Nikunj some time back that we need to develop local speakers. Local means speakers residing in Mira Road, Bhangar, Vasai Virar area. And believe me, with Amar Kakaria ji, and means I am really glad to share that we have lot many experts in our area, which sometimes it happens that we are not able to, it is because of overlooking, we are not able to put them on the board and bring them as a speaker. But this is really a welcome initiative wherein all our youngsters will be motivated to come ahead and speak on the subject. So let us take this initiative ahead and ensure that we see that lot many speakers are grooming from our area in the recent future. One thing which I feel that this group can really take care is, at institute and at branch and study circle, I mean to say that at various levels, when it comes to representing government office or say any government department or regulation, we have a limited access when we talk about representation, because lot many representations has to be routed through our ICI at Delhi. So it has its own process. This association can really be helpful when it comes to representing our professional issues to various government offices, to the various offices which we chartered accountants are usually used to provide services to our clients. So this is one of the initiatives which this group can very well take and ensure that whatever procedural hurdles or whatever departmental issues we are facing, that can be really very well addressed to this forum, because they don't have to go with the channel which has been decided at ICI, and they can move ahead as a group of chartered accountants and represent to the various government departments. So this, I think, so these are some of the initiatives which our group can take. I actually am not aware as far as what are the initiatives our association is taking, but I really congratulate the association for coming out with such a apt subject to be discussed with all the members. And once again, I really wish that it will be a really happening event to hear Amar Kakaria on the subject. And I'm thankful once again to each one of you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalitji, for word of wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on what are the developments happening around. Thank you so much once again. Now, friends, today's topic is relevant in an ongoing scenario. MSME is the backbone of the country and their economy. Speaker C. Amar Kakaria will share his views on the same. Listener can ask a question by posting in the chat box. The same will be addressed after the session. Now, I would like to formally introduce C. Amar Kakaria. C. Amar Kakaria is a Limca Board record holder, national record holder for being the youngest professional to complete CA, CS, ICWA qualification in the first attempt with merit ranking from all three institutes of at the age of 23 years. He's having 20 years of vast experience, post-qualification experience in the areas of merger and acquisition, investor relations, private equity, risk management, etc. Worked with large corporates, including L&T, Tata Group, etc. He's actively contributed over 24 articles on varied professional topics in the magazine published by branches, regional council of all 3C professionals institutes. Regular speaker on M&A, stock exchange listing, and other related topics with various professional institute, corporate houses, and social organizations. With this introduction, I would like to invite C. Amar Kakaria to take the charge and share his view on this topic. Over to Amar bhai.
Hi, good evening, friends. Thanks a lot, Sandeep bhai, for kind introduction. It's actually a great pleasure to be here today and on this wonderful evening, and particularly in this session, which has been organized by Bhayandar CA Social Group. I'm also thankful to Lalit bhai for taking out time from his busy schedule and joining all of us today. Before I start, we are going to discuss actually some of the strategies which can help MSMEs to revive and what kind of a role we chartered accountants can play in the process. But before I start, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all the COVID-19 warriors, whether they consist of doctors, policemen, sanitization workers, cleanliness workers, every government employee who's ready to protect us, NGOs, and millions of people who are selflessly working for more than 2 months. And because of him, we are safe today. We are attending this webinar. We are having a knowledge sharing. I request each one of you to put a thanks message in the chat box as a mark of our respect to to those Corona warriors. So, friends, let's have a discussion about revival of MSMEs and what is the role of CAs in the process. It's a small presentation for 1 hour, but we'll try to cover as much as we can. All of us have heard MSMEs very regularly being chartered accountants, but nowadays, particularly after Atmanirbhar package, this word is more common. What is MSME? MSME is simple: micro, small, medium enterprises. Initially, there used to be different norms. Old norms were different for manufacturing companies. They were quite strict. And for services, the investment size was lower. In fact, most of the CA firms or professional firms like us, they used to be falling into micro enterprises initially as well. Over a period of time, government has done some research and they understood that many of the companies, they are not ready to grow because there are a lot of advantages which are associated with MSME size. So they were not very keen on growth, because of which growth was getting hampered. So they took a call and finally new norms were decided around 10 days ago. So the norms are common for manufacturing and services both. There is an investment cap, investment of 1 crore rupee, 10 crore rupee, 20 crore rupee. Up to investment of 1 crore rupees, it is micro enterprises. If it is more than 1 and less than 10 crore rupees, it is small. And then above 10 but less than 20, it is medium enterprise. They also introduce turnover criteria as well, because turnover is very critical. So turnover is now 5 times of the investment which is to be made. So logic is simple, whether it is manufacturing company or services company, it is linked with the investment 1 crore, 10 crore, 20 crore, and turnover is 5 times of that. Friends, before we start, actually, before we go further, why MSME is so important? Why so much of thrust is given on MSME? These are very, very small companies having a negligible size, and practically they can hardly make any difference, right? Logically speaking. But practically, this is not the case because MSMEs are heart of the economy. It is always said, the mighty king, whatever powerful you might be, mighty king was also once upon a time a crying child. So all the large corporations which we are having a look at today, once upon a time, they used to be small companies, once upon a time. And the companies, small companies which we are nurturing today, to whom we are serving today, there is a very high potential that those companies can be, some of those companies can be very large organizations in the days to come. Friends, there are more than 6 crore enterprises, to be precise, around 6.3 crore enterprises which are operating across the country. Uttar Pradesh, being the largest state and the largest population in India, is having the largest number of units, around 14.5%. West Bengal is second, and it is followed by Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. There is almost equal distribution in manufacturing, services, and trading. Indian economy is growing at 6, 7, 8%, and people are very happy. MSME sector in India is growing at more than 10%. In fact, MSME is everywhere growing the at a faster pace as compared to the economy across the globe, and that's why it is considered to be heart of the economy. In Indian economy, they're having a leadership role. More than 16% of total bank borrowings are given to the MSME sector. In fact, you might have seen in the stock market, some of you might have, some of you, I request organizer to mute the mic, please. Okay. In fact, you might have seen a lot of pressure on banking stocks. Why there is a pressure on banking stock? Because more than 16% of the total bank borrowings are given to SME. If MSME is not going to perform well, particularly what has happened during the lockdown, there is going to be a lot of challenge. MSMEs are contributing more than 45% of industrial output. May I request all the participants to mute their mics, please? They're accounting for more than 40% of exports. They're employing 35%. They're employing 35% of domestic workforce and contributing towards 30% of the national GDP. This is such a vibrant sector. This is such a powerful sector. And practically you can see the sector, which is the second largest employer in India. I believe there is some disturbance. So can I request the organizer to mute the person who is speaking right now, if possible? So this is such a crucial sector because it is having more than 12 crore employees which are getting employed in SMEs, MSMEs, which is approximately 35% of the total domestic workforce. It is contributing 30% of the national GDP. But when we are having a total overall look, then only 1.35 crore MSMEs are registered with MSMEDA, Udyog Aadhaar basically. This process is very simple. There is no cost which is associated with it. But unfortunately, many of the guys, including most of the CA firms, they have also not got themselves registered over there. There is no logic why we did not get registered. But practically speaking, a lot of incentives, a lot of benefits are missed since registration is not there. Friends, these are some of the key benefits. In fact, there are more than 30 schemes which are available, and you can have a look at the MSME website, which is www.msme.gov.in. But the important factors which we are going to have a look, some of the important scheme. One is CGT MSA scheme. There is a credit guaranteed trust which is launched and is a priority sector lending. So SIDBI has given the assurance, and practically there is a collateral-free loan up to 1 crore rupees, which is offered to micro and small enterprises. Then there is a concessional overdraft rate up to 1%. There are, if any of the MSME, whether services or manufacturing, they want to source some of the capital goods, whether domestically or abroad, then CLCSS, that is capital subsidy, credit link capital subsidy scheme, or EPCG, export promotion of credit capital goods. Such kind of schemes are there. In case of EPCG, they can import the capital goods at zero duty, but there is a condition, underlying condition to meet the export commitments. Then when it comes to patent registration, they can get 50% subsidy. When it comes to industrial promotion scheme, they're also eligible for industrial promotion scheme, eligible for reimbursement. Similarly, reimbursement of ISO certification charges is also there. If you're a MSME and if you're submitting that certificate to your state electricity board office, then your electricity bill will be lower. Hardly any of us might be knowing of this. And even if we are knowing about it, we are not taking advantage of that because our firms are not registered as MSMEs. The most important and critical factor, which is important, is protection against the delayed payment. The fact is, in case of registered MSME, in the past, larger player used to arm twist. Might is right. So bigger players, just excuse me for a minute. I'll check again. Who is sorry for the inconvenience. May I request Akashji to kindly solve this problem because there is some disturbance which is coming in. Hello. Yeah.
Unmuted.
Now.
You can continue. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So, the most important factor of MSME registration, if you are a registered MSME, then your payment is kind of assured because there is a compulsory restriction to make payment in 15 days the moment you are giving any kind of a service or supply the goods. If the payment is not made within 45 days, then you can even claim interest on that. And if the payment continues to be outstanding for a longer duration, then there is a faster resolution through arbitration. In fact, there are a lot of advantageous schemes through IBC mechanism for MSME registration. So it is extremely essential for every MSME to get registered and get the benefit. If you're not a registered MSME, then practically the benefits of this protection against delayed payment may not be available to you because this is available only in case of registration. So more than 30 plus schemes are available on MSME portal, which can be checked and which can be, you can help the clients accordingly. But the most important factor is at this point of time is the cash flow. Cash flow is linked with the payment. If you're a registered NBFC, you're going to get the benefit out of that. Such a vibrant sector, which is employing around 1/3 of the Indian population, which is contributing to 30% of GDP. What has happened to that? In fact, there is a setback, massive setback to Indian economy. Not only Indian economy, such setback is appearing. It's everywhere in the world. The first chart is a chart of Sensex for last 10 years. If you see, since 2012, there has been a steady rise in the stock market indices. There was some temporary correction around 4 years ago, but again, it has gone up. And practically it has touched all-time high in the month of February, in just 2 months prior, just a month before the COVID-19 threat has started. What happened after that? After that, in the month of March, COVID was announced. The people understood the seriousness. Investors got panicked. In fact, similar panic was there everywhere in the world. And the stock market has crashed by more than 30%. So 41,000 level, it is coming down to around 27,000 level. So it is the same level which was there around 3 years ago. Friends, this is all about the large cap stock. But if you see the medium and small scale stocks, the impact has been even more severe. There had been a absolutely kind of a bloodbath in the process. There are few other indices which are economically very, very important. One of them is Purchasing Managers Index, which is popularly known as PMI. These indices are compiled by some multinational agencies. In India, this is done by IHS Markit. This index, it shows the confidence of the decision makers. If it is more than 50, there is a very high level of confidence. If it is less than 50, there is some kind of a turbulence. Historically, for last 15 years, this data has been compiled. Historically, this data always used to be in the range of 45 to 55. For the first time, this index has fallen down to 7.20. Prior to that, it used to be above 50. It has come down all of a sudden to 7.20, and there is only one single reason, that is COVID-19. So that shows a absolutely chaos in the system. Even industrial production was down by around 17%. And this data is for the month of March. For April, no data is available in the public domain so far, but for sure, given the severity of the lockdown, the data cannot be positive. So friends, world over, there is a challenge. There is a lot of negative sentiment across the sectors, across the categories. Various indices are in the red. Stock markets are crashing. So what should be the strategy? How can we come back? And particularly when we are speaking about MSMEs, those small companies, how can they survive? How can they revive? How can they grow? What can be the strategy for that? That is a topic what we are going to discuss today. Honestly speaking, not only me, but even our leaders and world leaders are also not having any strategy what can be done. But if we can look positively, then perhaps there can be some scope. The word strategy itself is having a solution, that is survival till revival, and thereafter ensuring growth on year basis. So survival, revival, and growth, these three are the key important points which we need to address at this point of time. Friends, we saw how the indices had come down, but I'm sure all of us might be aware of BRIC, that is Brazil, Russia, India, and China. BRIC nations, they used to be always having advantage of very high growth rate. When most of the economies in the world, they were used to have 1%, 2%, or even lesser growth, countries like India or Brazil or Russia, they used to have 7, 8, 9% growth. China was having even higher than that. So for the first time, now it has come to know, now it is understood that this growth cannot be permanent. In fact, there used to be many reports that by 2050, India will be number 2 and China will be number 1. America, Japan, they will be going out of the race. But practically COVID-19 has exposed, in fact, it has wrongly exposed at a very wrong time the limitations of the overall system. And Indian economy, forget about the growth. In fact, even if you are going to survive at 0% growth, even if you are going to achieve the levels of the last year, that will also be a great achievement for us. Why it is so? You check the sectors, almost every sector is, not almost, in fact, every sector is bleeding. The worst affected will be hotels and restaurants. There are numerous reports in which it is saying that more than half the hotels and restaurants which were closed in the month of March, they're not going to restart the operations again. Next affected is travel. Travel means what? Aviation sector. See the bloodbath, what is happening. There are so many airlines which are filing for bankruptcy, not only in India, not filed in India so far, but globally they're approaching for bankruptcy. In fact, today only LATAM had filed for bankruptcy. Tourism is worst affected, at least for next few quarters. Realty sector, there is no money available with the people to spend, and if there is a constraint on the squeeze on the cash flow, how real estate companies are going to sell their units. Malls, even if you're happy to go to mall, you just cannot visit over there because social distancing is going to be there at least for next few quarters till vaccine is available. So worst affected sectors, the challenge is how to survive. There are few sectors which are not directly connected, like logistics. Come what may, essential commodities need to be transported, but still logistics is also going to be affected because the excess supply or non-essential goods, that will be getting stopped. Textile, it is an essential sector, but textile will be affected because spending power will be having limitation. Metals is going to get affected, but when there are so many sectors which are getting affected, there are some least affected sectors. It will be FMCG, consumables, which are required by us on daily basis. There'll be some correction, but we need to continue to use them always. Pharmaceutical, when it comes to health, there is no compromise. There is a minimum possible impact which is expected to be on pharmaceutical and education. In a country like India, which is having huge population of 130 crore, education is a very important sector because people often see a future of their children with the education. That being the case, they cannot compromise to curtail their spend on education and pharmaceutical. For sure, there'll be some setback. There'll be some setback, but it is not as expected to be. Hotels, restaurant, realty, it is not going to be as severe as that. The least affected sectors are FMCG, that is consumer goods, then pharmaceutical, education. So there is a struggle for finance. There is going to be a struggle for finance. Akash, Akash, there is some disturbance again, please.
Amar bhai, I'll mute everyone. You will have to unmute yourself.
Please do that.
Yes.
Thank you. So there is a lot of so there is a lot of struggle which is going on for the finance, and everything is disturbed. What is going to happen in the process? Survival of the fittest. So the guys who are doing well, they're strong. They're going to get stronger in the process, and the guys who are not that strong, they will be facing a lot of challenges again. So the logic is very simple. If you're a strong company, still you will be looking for money, because with that money you like to acquire more companies. There'll be a lot of momentum for inorganic growth in the process. And if you are not having money, then anyhow you are going to suffer. So practically most of the players will be needing money for their survival, but there'll be always handful people who will be needing money for revival as well as inorganic growth. That is growth. So the strategy is how to survive, how to revive, how to grow. We are going to have a discussion on this. Friends, at this point of time, when MSME is suffering badly, according to me, CAs are the best professionals who are going to support them in this point of at this point of crisis. Because not because I'm a chartered accountant and all of you are chartered accountants. Most of the SMEs, they are not even private limited companies or LLPs. Most of those SMEs are basically proprietorship, partnerships, and practically how the situation starts. If the person wants to set up a firm, he approaches his chartered accountant. He tells, boss, I want to register a partnership firm. Can you help me? Once it achieves a particular level, then he wants to convert it into company or LLP. At that point of time, other professionals like company secretaries can come. If he further expands, perhaps cost audit can come. If he further expands, perhaps he may go for some fundraising. MBAs might be having some scope over there. But since inception, since the idea of starting the business, CAs are always going to be associated with those businesses. So according to me, CAs are the best professionals who understand the business because they're associated with those businesses since their inception. If CAs are going to be associated since inception, then at this point of time, crucial time, when all those MSMEs are on the deathbed, CAs will have to provide a helping hand on SOS basis to them. What can be the strategy for them? The first and most important strategy. Akashji, again, there is some disturbance, please. The first and most important.
Amar, please unmute.
Extremely sorry. The first and most important factor is focus on core activities. When it comes to focus, I'm sure all of you will agree that chartered accountants are known for their focus. Remember the days when we used to study. We used to focus on a particular subject, we used to focus on a particular group, we used to focus on a particular attempt, and we used to get the positive results for ourselves. So if we are focusing, then we are getting the result that ICA had taught us at the age of 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever might be the case. And that is the same experience which we are continuing. Focus is not a new concept in India. In fact, if you see Arjuna was known for his focus. He used to focus on a particular target, and even today he is considered to be one of the greatest warriors ever we had seen ever seen by the mankind. If focus is so important, then what is challenge? If we see around, there are so many large companies which are focusing on their businesses, and that's why they're getting larger and larger. But what happens with MSME? Why are they not in a position to focus? If we see most of the MSMEs, I consider everything which is less than 20 crore rupees of investment. Most of the MSMEs, promoters of MSMEs, if they're working very, very hard, they're giving employment to so many people. In fact, they're contributing in such a big manner. In fact, they're contributing in such a big manner to the society. But what is happening at the end of the day? If they're in a position to make
just a second, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please request all the attendees to please keep their mics on mute mode and their cameras on off mode. So there is a camera appearing here. I request the member to please turn off the camera. Please check and turn off their camera. Amar bhai, please continue.
Yeah.
Mukesh ji Jain, please, Mukesh ji Jain, please turn off your camera, sir. Mukesh Jain ji. Sir, please turn off your camera, sir.
But Nikunj bhai, it doesn't matter. Let camera be on. As long as mic is not functional, that's
कैमरे
okay.
का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि सर वो साथ में बाय डिफॉल्ट माइक चालू हो जाएगा ना तो फिर डिस्टरबेंस क्रिएट होगा आपको because it will hamper your discussion. That's my problem.
No problem. In fact,
Yes, sir.
MSMEs are having so much problem. No problem. Perfect. So,
Yes, sir.
so the point is simple. When it comes to core activities, if MSMEs are doing so much of hard work, they're putting in so much of efforts. They're also having 24 hours, which even large companies are also having 24. Nobody is having less time or more time. But why large people are large? Why large organizations are large? And why MSMEs continue to be smaller? The logic is simple. If you analyze it properly, when, for example, there is a company is doing some good work. Again, there is some disturbance, Nikunj bhai. Nikunj bhai, there is some disturbance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just trying to find out who is unmuting it now.
Amar bhai, you can
I
continue.
guess it's
Yeah. So what happens is when it comes to MSMEs, they're spending the money. They're getting some profit after putting in lot of efforts. And for example, there is some excess cash flow which is available with them. What do they do? If they're having few thousand rupees, they'll ask some tips to their friends and they'll invest that money in the stock market or they'll buy some jewelry for themselves. Secondly, if they're having few lakh rupees, perhaps they'll buy a car and they'll put it to carpooling company. Yes, मैंने तो मेरा एक additional revenue का source बना लिया. If they're having many lakh rupees, 50 lakh, 60 lakh, 70 lakh, they may buy a flat or they may buy a shop and give it on rental basis to others. Yes, now I'm having a monthly rental. I sincerely request everybody to mute their
members,
mic,
members.
please.
अमर भाई एक 2 मिनट के लिए पॉज कीजिए सर. Members, please check your phones. Are you really on mute mode or not? Please check your phones. Please be kind to the speaker. He's being interfered by our voices and sounds. Please keep your phones on mute mode. In every 3 minutes, we are requesting everyone to please keep it on mute mode. It's not happening, sir. Please. We'll be forced to remove the member whose mic is now on unmute mode. Please understand our plight. Amar bhai, now you may continue, please, sir.
Thank you. Sorry. So what I was telling, if there are few thousand, that person is happy to invest in the capital market. If there are few lakh rupees, he'll buy a car, he'll give it to carpooling company. If there are many lakhs, then practically that guy will buy a shop or he'll buy a flat, he'll give it on rental basis. And if there are many crores, perhaps he may launch even a own construction scheme for himself. But if you see practically, that MSME company is getting all that money because of his specialization. His specialization is not to buy a car or not to put money in the capital market or not to get into construction activity. His specialization might be related to services, software services, accountancy services. His specialization might be manufacturing of spare parts. It can be anything, but certainly not the real estate or capital market. Then why is he putting that money into that? I feel it can be a big challenge which is getting exposed now because the kind of training which we might have got in the earlier years, you should diversify. But that is something which is correct. Even large organizations like to diversify. But the only thing which we are not aware when it should be diversified. Should we diversify at this point of time when we are still growing and we are not yet reached the pinnacle of success? If we are going to diversify right now, the challenge for us will not be able to grow in our business because we are taking out all the resources, time, money, energy from the core activity. We are focusing on non-core activity and it is going to create a huge disturbance for everybody. So as a chartered accountant, we need to help the clients, MSMEs, to understand which all are the non-core activities which are actually draining their resources. If we can do that, perhaps half the problems will be solved, because the stock market investment what that MSME might have done, he may not get any realizable value at this point of time because markets have crashed. Even if he's having a flat, he may not be able to sell it. Even if he's having a car, he may not be able to get out of anything out of it. And construction projects needs to be told about it, because it can be even a Panchavarshik Yojana for him. So practically, it is the most important factor for all of us to help the clients to understand which all are the non-core activities and why should we focusing on core activities at this crucial time, because the challenge is unprecedented. Second most important point is profitability will vis-a-vis cash flows. Nobody will like to work for losses. Not only you, but even myself. Everybody wants profit. But practically speaking, at this point of time, this is something which is emergency. In case of emergency, profit can be sidelined. Profit can be put on the back burner. We need to focus on the cash flows, because if we are having cash, then only we can survive. We may continue to have a lot of assets, but if we are not having any cash, what will we do? So cash flows just cannot be delayed in order to have the profitability. There are many companies which you might have seen. They had launched a lot of big expansion projects with huge capex. Almost every company has stopped expansion plan and all capex have been cancelled. So if large companies are going to cancel the capex, if they're going to stop it, why? They're doing it to conserve their cash flows. If they can do that, I'm sure their profitability is not going to grow. In fact, they'll be suffering some losses while abandoning those projects. But if large people are going to do that, then we have to follow their footsteps, because if we want to conserve the cash flow, then only we'll be able to survive. And third most important thing is stop loss, because stop loss is something which is mandatory for everybody. Most of us, we may make mistake, but when we are making mistake, sometimes we are not ready to agree to it. In such cases, we may get into some unnecessary diversification, or we may get into some activity which was not possible for us to run profitability, but we'll still continue with it. In such cases, if you're already having some loss-making units, you'll have to take a closer look at that, and unless and until it can be revived, if it cannot be cash neutral, I'm saying cash neutral means you're not losing any cash on that. If it is cash neutral, you can continue with that activity, depending on the long-term view. But if it is not a cash neutral, and if you're going to further waste your cash on that, then you'll have to stop that. In fact, one critical factor which all companies, all MSMEs need to critically look at is the owner's salary drawing, which is going to be reassessed. Because at this point of time, everybody is claiming that I'll not pay to employees. In fact, there has been some judgments by the court as well, which is fine. But if you're not paying to the employees, and if the owner himself is going to take a more amount, then that is going to have a critical challenge for you in the long term. For example, if you see all your clients, there might be hardly any case that there was a zero rise in salary over last 10 years. Every company's promoter will like to take more and more amount with him at home, and that is a continuous trend. What is the differentiating factor? Have a look at the salary of Shri Mukesh Ambani. For the last 10 years, there is not even a single rupee increase in his salary. In fact, when COVID was announced, he was the first person who has told, I'll be foregoing my salary 100%. Such kind of examples need to be set, because if you are going to set such kind of examples, it will be helping you a lot in cost reduction and subsequent benefits. Friends, we're discussing cash conservation is the key for survival. In fact, this is the mantra. This is the only mantra. If you're having cash, you're going to survive, and vice versa is going to be a huge challenge. So how can we control the cash? How can we conserve the cash? There is a need to have a cash control room. You can even call it as a war room. And all decisions which are related with the cash inflow outflow, that is to be routed through that. In fact, many of the large companies, they're having MI system, very strong MI system. Every large company is having. In fact, I used to work with few of the companies, they were having excellent MI system, but it is not the case with small companies. So as a chartered accountant, perhaps there is a role for you to play over there. And in addition to revenue budget, which those companies might be doing, you can introduce cash budgeting system as well. It will help them a lot, because if you can have quarterly, weekly, monthly budget, at least for next 12 months or till the time the situation is going to improve, it can be really helpful to understand how the cash flows are going to be operated by MSME. So that is something which is essential, wherein chartered accountants will have to play a critical role, because MIS cannot be purchased from the market and put in the system. You can devise a tailor-made MIS because you understand the business very well. So that is something which is going to differentiate chartered accountants from a local MIS software which is available in the market. So this is important. Then focus on revenue maximization. Revenue is the key, and there are many businesses which are suffering a lot because of this COVID-19, particularly in the lockdown phase. So, but there are many people who are still struggling, and there are some people who are trying to convert this challenge into an opportunity. In fact, I'll develop opportunity pipeline using technology. In this case, I'll tell you a good example of a coaching institute. They're one of the largest coaching institutes in Mumbai. They're having around 100 centers, and that coaching institute is practically, because of social distancing, there were a lot of challenges. So what did the promoter do? He had taken a quick decision. He analyzed the situation. He converted some of his courses to online courses, and he was having a positive approach. He had told, initially I was having only Mumbai or Maharashtra as my target area. Now I can sell my courses everywhere in the world. And he started offering his courses, and in less than a month he has got more than 1,000 students. For sure, they might be having much larger number of students earlier, but even 1,000 number out of nothing is a huge achievement. So if technology can be deployed properly, there is a huge scope for our clients to develop a strong opportunity pipeline for themselves. Explore alternate revenue streams. Cash flow streams is also critical. To give an example, another company which we know well, it's a chemical company. They used to have 3 manufacturing facilities. The promoter realized one manufacturing facility is useful. In fact, the work can be done over there. Now he is exploring a possibility with his advisors. What can be done for other two? Perhaps one can be given on rental basis and one can be liquidated to generate some money out of that. So such kind of things can be possible with all companies, because there might be some heavy underutilization capacity which is happening. If that is happening, then perhaps there is a source for you if you can explore some alternate revenue streams for that. Then receivable and payable management. Uh, Approach the banks for taking temporary loans, factoring. Again, one of the BPO companies which were having good clientele, they were not understanding what to be done, because there was a 90-day cycle for payment. So their advisor took them to the bank, and factoring was done. Of course, this was pre-COVID, but factoring was done, and now they're happy. So you can also, as a chartered accountant, there is a huge possibility that the MSMEs will be needing guidance for raising the money, and again, CAs are in the best position to support them. Of course, when it comes to payment, the MSMEs will have to be cautious, but they cannot ignore the critical vendors. Of course, you'll have to support them, but you can certainly renegotiate the terms and try to get some discount out of that. What we spoke, cash is the king. And friends, it is always cash is the king, believe me. So if you have to conserve the cash, the most important factor is cost reduction. Why cost reduction is so compulsory? We don't have any control on the revenues. We are not aware whether we are going to get some money tomorrow or next week or next month. But for sure, we are aware that how much cost is borne by us, how much money we have to pay. So as far as possible, we need to advise and we need to guide the MSMEs to convert their fixed cost into variable. So the moment it's a variable cost, it is directly linked with the business. It is directly linked with the revenue. The moment revenue generated, the cost is getting incurred. So you are not having a risk to incur the cost even if business is not generating any revenues. So this is something which is essential. This can be done with all kind of activities. That can be a number of activities wherein fixed to variable cost can be possible. Employee management is a critical step in this regard, because at this point of time, you might be thinking with your heart, you need some employees. But brain is saying, boss, I don't have money to pay for those employees. What will you do? In such a case, you'll have to give priority to brain, because survival is compulsory. As and when you are having requirement, you can have on-demand reinforcement for your existing team. But practically speaking, if there is a need to give furlough to some of the employees or sending them on sabbatical, you should be doing that compulsorily. That is something which is going to be very essential for you. Otherwise, it will be creating huge amount of challenges. Then understanding the government policies, there are some policies which we are going to discuss on this. But the most important thing is registration of MSMEs with Udyog Aadhaar is essential, which we had to support to, which we had to communicate to all the companies which we know, because unless and until that is done, there'll be a lot of challenges. And the final strategy in this is raise equity funding for growth. Why to raise equity funding for growth? Because again, this is something which is related with the training which we had got. We had always been told, you start a business, we start the business, we put in our money, we take some money from our well-wishers and relatives. Perhaps some of the friends may come in the picture. We start a business, take them to a particular level, then we approach the bank and we take money. And perhaps, for example, you go to 5 crore level, 50 crore level, you take it to the next level. But after that, what? You are the king, because if you're having 10, 20, 30 crore rupees of top line, on the lower side, you are making 10% of that example. You are doing 2, 3, 4 crore rupees of revenue on a yearly basis. Not bad. It's a wonderful thing. You are the king. So what is the problem? You are calm, you are quiet, you are satisfied as well. But if you are comparing yourself with every large organization, all those large organizations are having a different approach. Why large organizations are large? Take Reliance, which is the largest, most valuable Mukesh Ambani has raised more than $10 billion. $10 billion is a huge number, my dear friends. $10 billion had been raised by Mr. Mukesh Ambani, and that money has been raised through venture capital funds, private equity funds. KKR, one of the largest PE funds, has invested in Geo. There are Facebook has invested in Geo. So if Reliance is going to raise money for its growth, why can't MSMEs raise money for the growth? In fact, venture capital advisory, private equity advisory is a critical task, and there are many funds which are going to support those MSMEs at this critical point of time, particularly stress assets. So, as a chartered accountant, it is our duty. I'm not saying it is an opportunity to us. I'm saying it is our duty that we should help MSMEs to get timely access for the fund. Why? Simple. Since I talk about Mr. Mukesh Ambani, I like to repeat the golden words of his father, Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. What he used to say: if you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go far, go with a team. My dear friends, unless and until we are going to go as a team, unless and until we are going to team up with the large PE funds, VC funds, or even small angel investors, we cannot survive the kind of critical situation in which we are into now. Even if I'm sincerely hoping that we'll be coming out of this situation very, very soon, but still, it is always better to team up with some large, strong partners and take the business in a safer level. Once you are having private equity venture capital, then ideally your objective should be to access the capital market and unlock the value, because that is something which is done by everybody. I'm having a slide on that, so I'm not covering it at this point of time. We'll have a look at the end of the presentation on this. But friends, in a nutshell, for survival, what is important? Survival, already the promoters are tense. They're having a lot of challenges when it comes to operation, manpower, all the supplier payment, default with the bankers, a lot of challenges. Then we are saying them, you have a look at the cost reduction. You should go through the government policies. You should understand that. I'm not very sure whether those guys will be aware of employee laws, those Workmen Compensation Act, and the government policies. They might be expert in that, but whether they'll be having mentality of that, perhaps it might be tough. And that's why they'll be needing the critical assistance of finance experts, which will help them to survive, revive, and grow. And I'm very proud to say that all the chartered accountants are best placed to assist MSMEs. Not because I'm a chartered accountant and you are chartered accountant. We are best placed because we are having presence across India. We are in the market for more than 70 years. And nobody understands the MSME sector, what a chartered accountant can understand. So actually, I would like to conclude by saying that MSMEs. Then global tendering is allowed for projects beyond 200 crore. So practically speaking, all smaller projects now, they'll be within the reach of our clients. And fortunately, a very welcome step has been taken. The guidance has been given to government departments and PSUs to release the payment in 45 days. So that is something which is wonderful activity. And last but not the least, the protection has been given from the provisions of insolvency and bankruptcy code. In fact, the critical provisions 7, 8, 9 have been suspended for a period of 1 year. No new petition can be filed for the default which has happened in the COVID era for a period of 1 year. So, and the minimum limit was also extended from 1 lakh to 1 crore rupees. So these are some of the relaxation, which is a fantastic step which government has taken. The most important factor, which is widely talked about, and all of us are aware about this, being the finance professionals, are the numbers which are very interesting numbers. There are 3 lakh crore collateral free automatic loans which are offered to all existing MSMEs which are having loans. What is this? So any MSME which is having loan of as on 29th, which is having a running loan as on 29th of February 2020, will be eligible to get a loan provided it is not NPA, provided that loan is not outstanding, there is no default for more than 60 days. So 3 lakh crore loan, collateral free loan, there are around 45 lakh MSMEs which are eligible to get this money. There is 20,000 crore subordinate loan. This is given to NPAs and the companies which are again having outstanding for more than 60 days if there is any default. Then there are around 2 lakh such companies which are available. Then third interesting point, which many of us might have ignored so far, there is a 50,000 crore equity infusion through fund of funds. But friends, it is only for listed companies. So the first case, there are 3 lakh crore which are available. That 3 lakh crore collateral free automatic loan is available for 45 lakh odd companies. So see the competition. When it comes to 20,000 crore loan, which is for stress asset, you are having another 2-3 lakh competitors. I believe there is some disturbance. Sorry. And then finally, when it comes to 50,000 crores, which is another interesting number, how many companies are there to compete if you are eligible to get the money? Friends, there are hardly 5,000 listed companies as on today. And out of 5,000 companies, take out initial 1,000 companies, which are not MSME, take out another 1,500 companies, wherein those companies are having hardly any business. Hardly 2,500, 3,000, hardly 50-60% companies, not even 3,000 companies will be eligible to get this funding. And even if we are assuming the money will be given to new listing, even if we are assuming 25 crore rupees or 50 crore rupees will be an amount which will be given to every single listed company, still the amount will be huge. Number of listed companies. If it is 25 crore rupees, there has to be 2,000 listed companies. In fact, 2,000 companies were not listed even in last 10 years. This fund is available right now. This is a sovereign funding which is coming right from the government of India. And believe me, friends, if you're having a listed company, if you're getting a sovereign funding for yourself, can you imagine the kind of impact what you'll be having? In fact, a company which is having sovereign funding is eligible to get all kind of investor classes, asset classes across all the categories, different parts of the world. Having a government as your stakeholder, it also gives you a lot of intangible benefits. But the most important factor is the competition gets reduced substantially. You're not competing with 45 lakh crore enterprises to get 3 lakh crore loan. You're not competing with 3 lakh enterprises to get 20,000 NPA loan. You're competing with around 3,000 companies to get 50,000 crore rupees of equity infusion, which is launched by the government, provided your company should be a listed one. So this is something which is a key. We'll speak about listing subsequently, but I just wanted to highlight these 3 critical numbers, which are extremely important in this Atmanirbhar package, which is meant for the revival of MSME. So friends, we saw about what can be the strategy for survival, what kind of measures are taken by the government for revival. But even if government is going to take a lot of measures, still the entire ball is lying in the court of MSME. Unless until they're going to be creative, they will continue to suffer. So creativity will be a key game changer. The most important part for them should be to approach a phygital model. What is phygital? You should have physical presence, but adopt a digital technology. All of us might be knowing, all of us might have heard about Motilal Oswal, a famous broking firm, again having headquarters in Mumbai. They have around 6,500 employees. Motilal Oswal reported the maximum daily turnover since inception of the company in the month of April, to be precise on 19th, 20th of April, when they were working with just less than 50 employees. They were having 6,500 guys on the roll. They were working with only 50 employees, still they could report the highest possible turnover. Why? It was possible because of the digital systems. So there is a very strong need to go digital at this point of time. Whatever can be the business, even if it is a small trading business, if you are having digital controls, it will help you to control your inventory losses. It will help you to have timely order. It will help you to maximize your revenue at a throwaway minimal cost. So that is something which is essential across the categories. Try to advise the clients to go for digital model. Usage of online tool for business is again very useful, because initially most of the MSMEs used to have very limited scope of operations, area of operation, but now entire world is available for them. In fact, all of you might be aware of Shri Rammohan Bhaveji, a very learned senior chartered accountant who is again a Limca book of record holder. He's an authority in IFRS, and I was attending his lecture around 2 months ago, and he mentioned, sorry, in the last month, and he mentioned that now he used to give, initially he used to give consultancy to English speaking nations, but now he has got inquiries from even from Germany. So a consultant can provide his services by sitting in Mumbai to a company which is operating in Germany, and that too in German language, because Google is offering all kind of tools. Not only Google, there are many specialist tools which are available. So same thing, if we can do it, if a senior person like Mr. Bhave can do it, certainly we should follow the clues and we should follow his footsteps and try to have similar approach in our services as well. Hire professionals for optimum result is the key. We are professionals and we understand the value of the professionalism. But many of the times MSMEs, they may like to do it themselves and try to have trial and error and waste the money. That should not happen. We should try to tell them, hello, yeah, sorry. So we should try to tell them to go for professionalism, because that can help them to get the timely result at most eligible and optimum cost. Offering some extra value to the customers is key. Something free is everybody likes it. I also like it a lot. In fact, there are many companies which have started offering. I again, coaching industry is my favorite. So coaching classes, they have started offering small courses. If you're doing K-12 education, they're offering you spoken English course. They're offering you personality development course. They're offering you memory development skills. Such courses are offered. In fact, we often say, Dabur, a big bottle, small bottle, you are getting free. So offer some extra value to the customer. If you are going to do that, you'll be getting an edge over your competitors. Damn, the interesting part for us now is tap opportunities with local first policy. Because of this, hello, Nikunj
Kapilji,
bhai, you like to intervene, please?
yes, sir. Yes.
Hello.
Okay, I'm muted.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So the important factor is you have to tap opportunities when it comes to local first. There are a lot of Swadeshi companies, and if those Swadeshi companies, those products can be marketed properly, then there is a huge opportunity. Not many people might be aware that Woodlands is an Indian brand, or Peter England is an Indian brand. Those are Indian companies. Bakaru, a small outfit in Mumbai, doing wonderful things. In fact, they're having most of the products are being exported abroad. It's an Indian company having a global reach. So if local first policy is aggressively implemented, there is a huge opportunity for Indian players, and there'll be at this point of time, whatever has happened, and there can be a lesser threat from Chinese competition as well. So our MSME should take benefit of that. Then developing M&A roadmap to extend offering is a very interesting step which we can advise. Classic example can be again, for example, Ruchi Soya, a blue chip company once upon a time, which was having some financial crisis. They went into liquidation. They were part of IBC. Patanjali Group has acquired it. Can you imagine a Swadeshi group like Patanjali is acquiring a company, that too a company like Ruchi Soya, a listed company? And what is the result? First of all, they got the benefit of listing. Secondly, they got a huge discount. And believe me, Ruchi Soya was a case pre-COVID. During COVID, there'll be many valuable buys because of liquidity shortage. So if they are having some money, if any of your clients are having money, and if there are good opportunities, then you can certainly advise those clients to acquire those companies. Those M&A can create a long-term impact because the situation is going to be down temporarily. It is going to bounce back. We are a country of 130 crore Indians. It's a huge, huge consumption story. And if there is so much of scope for consumption, practically speaking, every sector is going to bounce back. It all depends who is the fittest, that person is going to survive. So if you're having any opportunity to deploy the funds of the client, then you should use that very, very wisely. Go for M&A. And last but not the least, peer partnership. A very, very interesting thing which is happening. The competitors are turning friends now, thanks to COVID-19. There are many companies which are going for particularly having multi-locational presence. They're swapping their businesses and they're continuing to focus on their local areas or the areas of their choice practice. So these are some of the areas wherein creative approach can be certainly a game changer. And being chartered accountants, perhaps there is a huge scope for us to advise our clients accordingly. Friends, we spoke about challenges which are being faced by MSMEs. In fact, we spoke about how the economy is in a turmoil and everything is having negative sentiment. In fact, if we see the papers, if we see the news channels, everything is negative, you know. And if everything is so negative, then what is the solution? Whether there is no light at the end of the tunnel, it is certainly not, friends. It is certainly not. In fact, there are so many inspiring stories. There are so many positive stories. And if we go through each of them, then we'll be happy to go through them again and again. There is a very famous Hindi share, कौन कहता है आसमान में छेद नहीं होता, एक पत्थर तो तबीयत से उछालो यारो. These are some of the companies which I like to draw your attention to. There are more than 25 plus investments which have happened after lockdown. The largest is Jio. Mr. Mukesh Ambani has raised more than $10 billion for Jio. And the way deals are happening, I'll not be surprised if many more investors are going to join the league. Right from Facebook, right from KKR, right from many guys who had shown interest Sera, and there are more than 15 deals which had happened during the lockdown in e-learning phase. EdTech companies, education technology companies. The most famous is Byju's, Vedantu, Class Plus, and Academy. There are many such companies. E-learning itself has raised more than $500 million in investment during these 2 months of lockdown. Okay, so there is cycle has stopped. Nothing is moving. Economy has crashed. There is no light at the end of the tunnel for many of the sectors. Sorry, there is no light at the end of the tunnel for many of the sectors. But there are sectors like e-learning, medical supplies, ITS, telecom, FMCG, agro products, fintech, healthcare, diagnostics. These are choice of the investors. And if we are having any of the MSMEs which are operating in any of those sectors, then there is a huge potential for each of us to refer those cases to the potential investors, VC funds, PE funds, and attract investments for our clients, because each of the investment which we'll be making for those clients, it will be making a huge difference for them. So that was for VC and PE funding, friends. I'm coming to the actually end of the presentation, and we spoke about survival, we spoke about revival, we are speaking about growth. The first and most important factor was PE VC funding. If we are going to have a team of good PE VC funding investors with us, then we can go for any kind of expansion at any point of time. But those PE funds, VC funds, they'll also be coming out with some predefined exit strategy. And most of the cases, the most preferred exit strategy is to get listed on a stock exchange. Listing not only helps those people to get exit, but it creates value for everybody. Friends, why listing is so important? I'm not sure how many of the participants are actively working with listed companies, but listing is something which is very, very crucial. Listing is something which is very, very important. Unfortunately, we had not been given proper information about it, because again, like I had told, if somebody is having excess money and if he comes to us, then what do we suggest to him? You take some insurance policy, you put your money into gold bond is going on with any of the corporate or any of the microfinance institution. There can be some options which might be given by many of us to their clients. If the clients are having some diversified approach, they may even tell, no, I want to go for a real estate, or I want to go for a agriculture or farm land, something like this. In best case scenario, they may go for, they may like to invest money in the capital market. They may ask us our advice about a particular company, or they may even say for last few years, particularly after demonetization, there has been a lot of momentum on mutual funds. Mutual fund hai to sahi hai. That is the punchline. It's true. Mutual funds are doing a fantastic job. But if we analyze critically, what we are doing is, or what the MSMEs are doing is, they're having some money. That money is done after putting in a lot of efforts, but that money is not kept with themselves, because it has been always taught to us, don't keep money with you. If you're going to keep money with you, then there'll be a problem. So what we are doing, we are giving it to farmer. We are taking a non-productive asset like land. We are giving it to jeweler. We are taking a gold, which is, gold is by itself is not having any value as such. It may appreciate depending on the economic scenario, but it is not going to generate the value what your business can do. Nobody, whether it is bank or mutual funds or listed companies, perhaps nobody is going to give any control to us. We are not having any control in their decision making as to what they'll be doing with our money. But still, we are happy to keep our money with them, even though we are understanding our business well. On the contrary, when we are looking at any top large corporate houses, you start with any group, start with Tata, Birla, Ambani, Adani, L&T, Sterlite, Vedanta, take any group. If you see all these groups, have you seen any investment? Have you seen whether Ambani's had made any investment in a particular company? They have acquired some minimum stake. The stake which is acquired by most of the MSME is minority stake. So we are speaking about minority stake. Those groups, whenever they are making investment, they're acquiring majority stake, or they're taking some strategic stake in those companies, which is linked with the business, not otherwise. But in our case, perhaps I may buy a banking stock today, tomorrow I may buy an automobile stock, third day I may go for a cement stock. Such kind of a strategy is never done by any of those large companies. In fact, most of those companies which are having treasury operations, those treasury operations are also given a critical guidelines as to how the funds should be deployed and how the resources has to be channelized. So if those large people are so conservative, and if we also want to become large people, then why can't we follow their footsteps? If we have to follow their footsteps, then what is the option? Take every large business house, they're having multiple companies in them. All those multiple companies, many of those companies are listed companies. Perhaps you may have an automobile company as a listed company, you may have an FMCG company, you may have a software company, you may have a cement company, metal company. There might be multiple companies which are available with you. And when you are having so many multiple companies, there is always going to be cyclical rotation. So whenever there is economical cyclical rotation, it will help you to conserve your resources in a systematic manner, because at the end of the day, if one cycle is going to go up, another cycle will be going down. But again, since you are a listed company, you are having quasi currency available with you. At this point of time, if you have to take money from the bank, you have to go to the bank, you have to offer a lot of security to them. Again, it is at the discretion of the banker whether those securities are properly valued or not. But when it comes to listed stocks, there is a price which is there in the stock market. You have to pledge your shares, you have to get the money, use that money, solve your problem, return the money. Again, you are free. So that kind of flexibility is offered by the listed companies. But unfortunately, not many MSMEs are getting themselves listed. And since they're not getting listed, they're missing the huge value creation opportunities which all large corporates have tapped. So if they really want to grow, and if they want to become a large player, and if we want to make them a big player, then certainly it is essential for us to guide them about listing. In fact, we should handle them in the entire process of listing. As far as listing is concerned, there are two popular nationwide stock exchanges. NSE is the largest with more than 85% control in the market. BSE is the second largest. Listing is the ultimate tool. There has been a lot of concession which has been given, particularly after this post-COVID scenario. IPO can be possible on the main board. For main board, there is no concession, but for SME, again, they had given concession. There are concessional norms for SME listing on BSE SME exchange. Initially, they used to have requirement of 3 crore rupees of capital and assets, fixed assets. Now that requirement has come down to 1.5 crore rupees. And if you are a registered startup, with that government interministerial portal, so if you're a registered startup, then you can come out with an IPO. There is a subsection in SME listing on BSE. Then only 1 crore rupees capital is required. So this is something which is welcome step. This new norm of SME listing is applicable from 1st of June onwards. Then secondly, you can if you don't have time, in case of SMA listing, you have to be there on SMA exchange for 2 years, then you can migrate to the main board. If you don't have that kind of a time, you can acquire a listed company through open offer, reverse merger, put your business into that and take it to the next level. And that is something, listing is something which is extremely essential for unlocking the value. In fact, listed companies always have avenues to raise the fund because there are banks, financial institutions, foreign institutional investors, mutual funds, insurance companies, everybody can participate in you. And more importantly, we saw around 15 minutes ago, there is a fund of funds which has been launched under Atmanirbhar package, a fund which is having 50,000 crore rupees of pool available for making investment in the capital market. So that is also accessible if you are into right side of business and offer right size. So that is something which is essential. And finally, the ultimate destination should be to get access of foreign capital. It can be through FCCB, GDR, ADR. There can be AIMS listing also, which is, there are many, Luxembourg Stock Exchange. There are many stock exchanges which are doing fairly well. At this point of time, hardly any of them are operating in full swing, but for sure, once the situation is normal, there'll be a lot of swing, positive news will be coming on that front as well. So that is something which is very, very critical. If you're going to have listed companies, then multiple listed companies is an option. But practically speaking, the most important point again, which we are saying, please request your clients, please request MSMEs to focus on their core business. Even if they want to diversify, suggest them to hold on their desire till the time they achieve a critical mass, a decent size. Because if they're going to diversify, hello, if they're going to diversify before achieving a critical size, there'll be a lot of challenge. So friends, that was about listing, and this is the final slide, the conclusion. We are known for the various services. In fact, we are partners to the nation building. We are having presence across India, across the world actually, and we are having a niche. A lot of we are having huge trust and credibility. We are known for our expertise in audit, accounting, tax consultancy. We also help people in setting up proprietorship, partnership, HUF. We are doing MCA compliances, society compliances. We are doing all kind of registrations as well, MSME registration, Shop Act, various kind of registrations under various acts and laws, import export license, various kind of things, IC code and other things. But this is our traditional forte. This is the thing which we used to do now till now. What is happening? The companies which we used to give the services, those companies are now facing challenges because there is a COVID-19 lockdown. There was a lockdown for more than 2 months, and now what is happening? All the services are always going to be there. That is our core specialization. We have to focus on that and we have to deliver results to the clients. But practically speaking, now what is the situation post lockdown? The most important factor for the company is they are not even aware which all critical factors they need to look at depending on their scenario. Can we help them to develop a MIS report for themselves? If they're needing money and if they're facing shortages, can we use our resources? Can we use our connectivity to raise some loan funding for them? It can be through banks, it can be NBFCs, it can be even private funding as well. But because nobody can replace the cash at this point of time, if we can help them in raising the loans, debt, it can be great. The most important point, perhaps many of the people are not aware, is about protection which has been given by ABC. There can be some pending outstanding dues which those people might not be in a position to recover. There can be some protection which is possible in this case. We can suggest them, we can help them to get benefits of MSME provisions and help them to recover the benefits. And even if there are MSME IBC protection, still it's a two-way process. So if there are some dues which are payable by the company, we can guide them properly with respect to IBC provisions and vice versa. Risk management is a key because every large corporate, right from Tata Group, L&T Group, Reliance Group, everybody is having a proper risk management policy, which is missing in MSME companies, and that's why they are exposed. They are quite vulnerable. So if you can help them to devise proper risk management, it's a simple policy, but unless and until it is put in place, unless and until it is made customized, it is not going to give the results. So we can have some role over there. The most important factor are last three: transaction advisory. We spoke about Patanjali, how they acquired a company. For sure, there'll be many such companies which will be available for sale, not only in India, but across the globe. If you are having clients who are having money, perhaps there can be a good potential for you to help them to grow inorganically by acquiring such companies. And I'm not saying that you should be getting, or you may or may not be getting into deal making exercise, but there are various things which are to be done by chartered accountants and legal professionals. It can be starting with due diligence. It can be starting with legal documentation. various legal documents have to be done, then a financial review. It can be starting with even data room compilation, various steps in due diligence process, as well as final completion of the deal making, and subsequent to that integration. There is a at each of the steps, chartered accountants have to play a critical role in the process. So we can support them on that. And again, angel funding, VC funding, P funding is happening selectively, though it is at a slower pace as compared to what it was pre-COVID-19 lockdown. But still, it is happening. And if you're having any companies like many of you might be well associated with healthcare sector or medical supplies, and if those companies are having a particular size, and if those companies are having technology support, you can certainly help those companies to raise money for themselves. And last but not the least, the favorite topic which I always like to say, help your companies to get listed, help your companies to access capital markets, strengthen them, and it can certainly make wonders. I'm sure there are 6.5 crore MSMEs. 6.5 crore MSMEs in India is a really huge number. I'm sure each one of you might be having 500,000, 5,000 companies, clients whom you are serving. You cannot do justice with everybody, but certainly you can do, if you can get anybody listed, it can be a huge wonder. In fact, I'm not sure if you are aware about Shiv Khera. There is a very nice management story, again a favorite of mine. There was a small boy who was standing near the ocean, and with every wave there used to be some starfish which used to come. So he used to take some of the starfishes and again put them back into the ocean. A person like me went over there and asked, "Boy, what you are doing is okay, but you just cannot help all the starfish." That boy says very calmly and quietly, "I know I cannot help everybody, but certainly I could make a difference for the starfish whom I had again put back in the ocean." Same is the case over here. If we are going to help the MSME to survive at this point of time, if we can help them to revive at this point of time, and if those MSMEs can grow with our support, then certainly we are doing a lot of difference to them. And perhaps that can be the role which all chartered accountants can play as economic warriors. And we should be committed. We should be highly committed towards survival of MSMEs, revival of economy, and growth too. Again, this is Modiji's dream, but this should be individual dream as well. Our beloved nation, our great nation should be having economy of $5 trillion, not 2, 3, 4 years down the line, but at least 5 years down the line. We can work towards that as an economic warrior. So that's all that's all from my side, my dear friends. Before I conclude, I like to say the world is closed for innovation, but there is going to be a grand reopening very, very soon. Adopt new normal, be positive. The strategy is very simple: survive, revive, and grow. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Unmuted.
Thank you, Amar bhai, for your kind words. It was a very energetic and wonderful session now. There are few questions there. Nikunj, can you elaborate?
Yes,
I can
yes,
see the
yes,
chat.
Sandeep.
Say the same.
Some chats might not be visible to you. First, you can reply to the chat.
Unmuted.
Nikuj, I had posted all the chats
Okay.
in the presentator chat box, so he will be having
Fantastic.
access to all the queries, I guess.
Fantastic. Take it. So the applause has already started coming in.
People have always been kind, that I know for sure.
And you have been really humble. That we know.
There is a first question. Can you please throw more light on EPCG benefits to MSME, since the limits for MSME has been increased to a good amount in crores? This area, I believe, is a good opportunity for them. We can discuss on this. See, EPCG benefit is basically applicable when somebody is planning to import capital goods from abroad. Practically speaking, the kind of restrictions which are there in import, such kind of benefit will be temporarily suspended, and such benefit is also under review. in order to make more lucrative. So I suggest, if you are planning to seriously practice in this, wait for few months, couple of months till the situation get normalized, because a lot of incentives will be getting offered, hopefully, for the import from specific countries, and there'll be some restrictions which will be put for imports from a particular country, particularly neighboring countries. So since you are planning to focus on this, have some perhaps you can wait for a few months, and then you can discuss on, then perhaps you can look into that. This was the first question, right, Akash?
One more
Hello.
question about that. The question is there any company, if any company is covered under the limit of
Okay.
MSME, then then they are automatically MSME, or they will have to register for the becoming MSME?
You will have to register yourself. There is a Udyog Aadhaar portal. In fact, it's a one-time process. There is no annual compliance which is to be done. There is no cost which is involved. You have to go. It is a self-declaration form which you have to give, and you have to complete the process. It is not an automated process. You will have to do it. One effort has to be done by you. The next question is, can you share your views which are the SME shall go for listing VCP? I mean, which are fit for it? Some examples. I guess we discuss about it. There are a few sectors which are very hot at this point of time. We spoke about healthcare. We spoke about the education technology. Telecom is of course out of our reach, but many of the companies which are into medical supplies, FMCG, agro commodity, agro goods, this will be favorite sectors for the investors. So if you're planning for VCP funding, if you're having clients in this sector, that can be creating a wonder for you. And typically the sectors which are favorite for the P funds, VC funds, those sectors are favorite for the investors as well. So when you are planning for listing, the stock exchange will always ensure that you belong to any of those sectors, because that is something they are always keen on getting their IPO successful. Okay, the next question is,
Yeah,
sorry.
Amar, I have one query.
Yeah,
it's about the MSME. In MSME, the trading companies are not covered. If I believe, the trading only manufacturer and the service sectors companies are covered.
Perfect.
So those who
Your
are into
understanding
the
is correct.
trading companies, so how we can raise fund for them in this current scenario? Those who are those who are traders, who are not the service providers and the manufacturers.
See, what is happening is that MSME Act was done with a particular mindset initially. We need to appreciate that this act is fairly old, around 15 years old. It was passed in 2006. After that, there has been a lot of developments, and particularly last 2 months had been extremely dynamic. So when the package was offered, it was offered to all the MSMEs. It is nowhere mentioned that the benefit of Atmanirbhar package will be offered only to registered MSMEs. Sorry. So practically, even today, before starting of this presentation, there were few news reports in which it was mentioned that Atmanirbhar loan of 3 lakh crore will be made available to retail companies as well. Retail means trading companies. So if Atmanirbhar loan is made available to them, then your problem is solved actually.
Yeah, but if you apply for this MSME Udyog Aadhaar, they are not providing the Udyog Aadhaar for the traders, because unless and until you have a Udyog Aadhaar, you won't apply for this MSME loan.
No, not really. There is a communication gap which is happening. Atmanirbhar package is for MSMEs. Atmanirbhar package is not restricting itself to only registered MSMEs. In India, there are 6.5 crore MSMEs, out of which hardly 1.5 crore MSMEs are registered. So 5 crore MSMEs, the government certainly cannot take a stand that it will offer benefit only to registered NBFCs, because 5 crore is a huge number. So practically speaking, if Aadhaar is not offering any, that Udyog Aadhaar is not offering any provision to register trading company, that is the policy under MSME Act, MSME Development Act. But as far as benefit under Atmanirbhar package is concerned, according to me, at this point of time, the indication which government has given, at least in the news channel which we had seen, that even trading companies will be eligible to get the benefit, provided they're having proper loan as on 29th of February 2020.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Then the next question is, there is no loan taken by MSME yet. Then no option available. Yes, actually, if there are no loans taken by MSME, according to me, there is limited clarity on this front because they're saying you'll be getting. There is a wonderful ringtone which all of us could hear. So, according to me, if you are not taken any loan, then there is limited clarity which is available currently. And that being the case, nothing can be done at this point of time. But for sure, government should be giving some clarity on this in the days to come. The next is, can you share your views? Which are the SMEs shall go for listing? That we address, I guess. Some examples are already given. MSME funding means a person having turnover ranging from 10 lakh to 50 lakh or more, but less than 1 crore can apply to Atmanirbhar loan. Yes, anybody which is having turnover of even less than 1 crore can apply for Atmanirbhar loan because it's MSME funding. So he's having a business, he's doing a business and he's having 50 lakh rupees of loan, he can apply, provided for Atmanirbhar loan. Again, I'm repeating, the query is the logic is simple. You need to have loan outstanding as on 29th of February. It should be in good condition, which is outstanding for less than 60 days. And whatever is the loan, whatever is your limit, you will be getting 20% excess loan out of that, on over and above that.
Having loan is compulsory.
Having loan is compulsory at this point of time. But for sure, there should be some clarity which government will be providing. Then the next question is, no, there are few queries. If the status of MSME changed due to change in limits, do we need to re-register? This is a very tricky question because practically what happens whenever there are any change in the statutes, there has to be an official gazette notification. There has to be change in the act. For the first time, the limits have been changed based on a presentation, that Atmanirbhar presentation. For sure, there are a lot of challenges, operational challenges, administrative challenges for the government. But the moment they come out with official release on that, we'll have to go through the gazette to get more clarity on this. But according to me, you need not change the MSME status at this. It need not be changed at this point of time because of change in limits. You need not have to go for re-registration. Your one-time registration should be okay, according to me. But please wait for the gazette to come. MSME definition, the limit is investment and turnover both to be complied, or investment or turnover either of. This is, for example, you are having a turnover of 150 crore rupees and your investment in the business is 19 crore rupees. Then you'll be micro company in that case, even if you are going for more than 100 crore rupees of turnover. So the beneficial portion for you will be considered while deciding the category. Whether interest subvention will be available for FY 2021 to a firm having investment in P&M less than 10 crore but turnover of more than 350 crore in March 2020. Honestly speaking, I'm having limited clarity on this question. I'll not be able to answer this because interest subvention, a lot of things are, a lot of new avenues are coming out because of this Atmanirbhar package. So you'll have to check with your banker or SIDBI office because SIDBI is handling this process. Interest subvention is directly under the control of SIDBI. You'll have to check with them. If MSME go to SME in such period, do you feel people will do investment in MSME having no brand value or big name? Will their share will be subscribed as investable fund is there with retail investors? We spoke on this. See, MSME are getting traction if they are belonging to a particular sector. If you're going to say you're having a company which is into real estate, they want to get listed, I feel there will be limited scope in the short term. So real estate is going to be again favorite few years down the line, but not right now. But if you're having any company, for example, you're having a mobile banking company or fintech company, and if it is planning to get listed, then there should be some investors which will be coming in, particularly angel funds, angel investors should be showing interest in that. It always depends on the sector in which you are into, particular as well as stock exchange on which you plan to get listed. It means if no previous loan outstanding the MSME, then no loan can be taken for MSME as per Atmanirbhar. Yes, this is my understanding. This is my understanding based on the limited reading which I had. You need to have a loan outstanding as on 29th of February. It should be in good condition and automatically you will be given 20% over and above that. in the days to come. Then just a is it that turnover of medium enterprise is 100 crore or they're going to increase it to 200 crore? I don't think they'll be increasing it to 200 crore because the definitions are very, very simple. Is 1, 10, 20 and turnover is 5 times of that. So turnover for micro is 5 crore. For small, it is 10 into 550 and for medium, it will be 20 into 500. Is that the turnover of medium enterprise is 100? Again, the same query is going on. What about new project by existing companies having no loans will get benefit in any scheme? In fact, as a chartered accountant, as a well-wisher to those companies, you should advise those companies to, if it is possible, to stop the new projects because cash conservation is key. Unless they're engaged into some activities wherein a lot of resources are available. So perhaps they can postpone such projects because at this point of time, the banks are already having challenging position. If you see the stocks, the valuation of the stocks, right from private sector banks to PSU banks, there has been huge correction because a lot of stress is there on the balance sheets of the bank. So because of this Atmanirbhar package, there will be more stress. That being the case, I feel there can be a challenge in the short term. So perhaps that can be postponed if new projects, because getting funding in the short term may be a challenge, huge challenge. How to resolve immediate cash crunch issue of MSME for sustaining and revival if no benefit from Atmanirbhar is possible? This is a very interesting question because if no benefit is available from Atmanirbhar, then you have to be really Atmanirbhar. In case of Atmanirbhar package, you are actually dependent on the government to provide you funding. If no such benefit is available, if you can focus on your core activity, provided you are having some surplus, some resources which are available, focus on your core activity and do it on yourself. In fact, I like to say for this 4 lines, my favorite lines again. रख हौसला वो मंजर भी आएगा, पैसे के पास समंदर भी आएगा, थक कर ना बैठे मंजिल के मुसाफिर, मंजिल भी मिलेगी और मिलने का मजा भी आएगा. So if you're not getting any money from the government, don't worry. You can revive yourself and that will be a fantastic thing for you to do. I thought that was the last question, but there are a few more questions. Whether loan required is only from bank or NBC, loan from sister concern. No, loan from sister concern is not considered. Loan is only from bank and registered NBFC, that too having proven track record. And this loan from NBFC will also be subject to review. And that NBFC should be in existence for, there are some criteria of 2 years and other things. So loan from your sister concern is not allowed. Even if that sister concern is NBFC, still, according to me, it will not be allowed. That's all from my side. Thanks a lot for your valuable time and patience, and thanks to listen to me. So nice of you. I believe I'm through with all the questions. No, something is still coming. What will be the export obligation if an MSME
Unmuted.
TCG? Earlier it was 8/8. I believe it will continue to be the same, but wait for some clarity because practically speaking, there have been a lot of restrictions which are coming in. Most of the things, most of the times, if you see the exports, the imports used to happen from particular countries, neighboring countries, and to some extent from Taiwan. Now government is strictly against importing anything from neighboring countries. There have been a lot of restrictions. Perhaps there can be some multiple limit on import from neighboring countries. I'm just giving a thought. I'm not aware of what is going to happen. Nobody is aware perhaps. So have some time because anyhow import of new things is at this point of time on a very, very slow track. So have some wait for some time. You'll be getting clarity on that. If you being PM, FM, what package you would have suggested?
Amarji, if you allow me to speak for a minute on this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, currently the scenario is that there is a cash crunches in MSME. So there is only 2 ways to raise the money: either from outside, Atmanirbhar, or self-generating income.
Correct.
Self-generating income would be one of the for manufacturing industry would be through 3 areas: would be EPCG, working capital management, and alternative source of incomes. This alternative source of income will help through export benefits, because while if you do EPCG, if you have those licenses, if you do imports, you have to do certain export obligations compulsorily. You have to shift your domestic sales to international sales, and you will enjoy your export benefit incomes also. And they straight away give you at least 3.5 to 4% additional income in your financials. And this will help you to sustain more longer than getting funds from outside. Generating funds from inside will help you more.
No, but the only challenge at this point of time which is happening is you are very keen to export, but your goods are lying in the dockyard, in the JNPT practically, and there is a huge demurrage which is getting applicable on that. In fact, there is a lot of representation which is made by trade bodies to the government. Give us some relaxation for export obligations.
Yeah, I do understand for certain period of time of those 2-3 months, but in the longer
But even
period,
otherwise, see, honestly speaking, if we are going to put restrictions on import, how can we expect other countries not to put any restriction on import in their countries? There is going to be a challenging phase for everybody, honestly speaking. That is what is the report, even what McKinsey was elaborating on. But if it is happening, if we are in a position to export, wonderful thing, great thing to be for everybody actually.
yeah, because
But for
now
sure,
once the
we are
limit
putting restrictions.
has been increased, the people can think upon on those lines.
Of course, yes. They should think and they should find out a solution on that front. Very valid
Yes.
point. So that's all, friend, from my side.
Sandeep bhai, please.
So much. There are a lot of input gained by most of the participants. Now it's time to give a vote of thanks. Now I request our friend CA Jignesh Shah, please kindly give a vote of thanks for the session.
Thank you, Sandeep. And I start with the अमर भाई के language में I will start. कि कौन कहता है कि भाईंदर में स्पीकर नहीं है? एक बार अमर भाई और ललित भाई को सुन के देखो. So to begin with, at the beginning of the started, and he has said his thought and the different activities which the WRC taking under this lockdown period, and it is the very wonderful activity they are doing during the the limited resources. And it has always been great to hear my friend C. Amar Kakaria ji, who is good God-gifted knowledge and expertise in the various topics and subjects. Today's session was the very knowledgeable, especially the person like who are the very especially into the MSME, those who are in the practice of the MSME. He has shown in-depth light on the MSME sector, how to raise the fund, how to to expand those MSMEs, how to advise, how to guide, how to become a partner with those MSMEs. So I sincerely thanking you, Amar bhai, for your the in-depth knowledge which you have said today. I also thank each and every participant who have spared their time for today's webinar, and especially I will thank to the technical support provided by the Akash Agrawal and the coordinator Ritu Agrawal, Kishore Mehta, Jayesh Jain, Sheetal Sharma, Nikunj, Sandeep Bhai, and each and every participants of the Bhayandar CA social group. So once again, thank you, and over from me. See you. Hope the lockdown